This is Dharma Drops with your host, Rebecca Warfield. This podcast is a little bit about yoga, a little bit about life, and a little bit about whatever. And just as a warning, this podcast is unscripted, so that means I might regret a few things that I say. But hey, maybe I'll say some pretty awesome stuff too. Remember, these are musings, not truths. Buckle up, giddy up, because here we go. Hello? Is anybody out there? I'm sure there's a lot of you out there, but there's just one of me today. It's just me, your host of Dharma Drops podcast, Rebecca Warfield. And I'm here just by my lonesome. Okay, well, maybe I'm not totally by myself. My COO of Dharma Drops is here, Hank, my French bulldog. But Hank and I are just chilling by ourselves today, recording the very first Dharma Drops, or what I like to call the Dharma Mini Drops episode. So a lot of you have reached out and requested more episodes, which is super flattering, and I'm really excited that you guys are enjoying the podcast enough to want more episodes. But here's the deal. I'm a one-woman show over here, and though I have the energy of about 500 people, recording this podcast is a tremendous amount of work, from finding guests, scheduling with guests, because getting two adults together to find 1+ hours to record is really hard. I do all my own editing, all my own publishing. I write all my own show notes, do all the blogs myself. So in any case, my point to this long diatribe about woe is me, I'm so busy. My point here is it's really hard and a lot of work for me to pump out guest episodes every single week. But I do hear you, and I know that you want more Dharma Drops episodes. So welcome to the Dharma Mini Drops episodes. So for now, these will be extended card readings. That'll be about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. The reality is I can run my mouth. If you've listened to Dharma Drops podcast before, you know girl can talk. But in fact, look, just as a side note, I was listening to the podcast episode that I recorded with Just One More Chapter podcast. I was horrified with how much I talk. If I'm ever dominating your conversation, just give me a little nudge and be like, hey, B, you're talking way too much. But in any case, so the whole point of these episodes are to offer 10, 15 minutes or so of Dharma Drops. And these for now will be based upon the card readings. So these are extended card readings. But if you have ideas and suggestions for future mini episodes, just let me know. And then hopefully these will hold you over between the guest episodes. So starting now, February 12th, 2020, every Wednesday, you will have a little mini Dharma Drop episode to listen to, just to hold you over until the regular every other Friday episodes come out. Just as a reminder, you can get the card readings at dharmadropspodcast.com/card readings. They're all there for you. And with that in mind too, anytime you want more information about any of the podcast episodes, just go over to dharmadropspodcast.com/show notes. And there is a full blog post for every single episode of Dharma Drops. At this point, there might be a few missing from way early in the Dharma Drops day because I've been rebranding the whole site. So one by one, I've been going through and creating new pages for each show. But within the next week or so, they should all be up there. And if not, come over, help me do them, and we'll get them up there. I'm just saying, we could hang out. Okay, enough of my random whatever I'm doing here, talking, rambling, whatever. Let's get into this week's Dharma Mini Drops card reading. This card comes from the Feed the Soul card deck, which is sold out at the moment because the Wilmington, North Carolina crowd brought it at the Holistic and Psychic Expo and bought everything I have. But there are more cards coming on the way. So you can hang tight and the cards will be in soon. But in any case, this card is the Feel Good Break card. And it's a cute little card. It says, take a guilt-free break to watch a few feel-good videos. Who doesn't love watching adorable animal odd couples, reunion videos, or bloopers from a favorite show? Watch and enjoy. And look, I'm going to be really honest. Sometimes when I'm feeling like I need a little break, do you know what I do? I watch these videos of ballerinas falling. I swear to you. So if you go to Instagram and go to Biscuit Ballerina, I think that's what it's called. I'll link it into the card reading page. But in any case, if you go to Biscuit Ballerina, it's a site that's really for ballerinas to feel good about themselves and remember that everybody falls and everybody messes up. So I'm just saying, If you want to watch a couple videos that'll make you laugh, check those out. Running a one-woman small business is not for the faint of heart. In the last week, I have spent in excess of 10 hours in front of my computer each day. I've made a little time to run to the gym and do this weightlifting workout. So I've talked about it a little bit before. You may or may not have heard it yet on my episode with Anna Hendricks, but essentially it's like, I don't have the language for this. So people out there into weightlifting, just forgive me. But you press the bar up from your chest up toward the sky 6 times. And then you do 7 front squats, 8 rows, 9 deadlifts, and then 10 back squats. And then you do that as many times as you can in 20 minutes. So that's what I've been doing. I've been taking a break every day to go do that. But in any case, outside of that, all day, no joke, for the last week or so, I have been working my ass off. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really feel that good. And so, I mean, I guess I should be careful in those sorts of things that I say. It does feel good in the sense that I get to be my own boss, and then I can run to the gym and do this weightlifting workout that's killing me. That I can run to the gym and do that each day on my own time. And I can do my laundry, or do my dishes. For example, I just did my dishes right before I started recording this episode. But all of those benefits aside, I am worn out as fuck. My eyes have been dry and blurry from staring at my computer. For a couple of days this week, I forgot to eat my lunch. And I really haven't taken much time to do things that I enjoy. Because let's get honest, even though I'm going to the gym and doing this weightlifting workout, I don't really love lifting weights. But I really don't think you have to be self-employed to feel this way. We all tend to get wrapped up in the daily grind, and then suddenly it's like we haven't been in our bodies or our minds in 72 hours or more. We haven't even stopped to notice how we're feeling. Or something I do that's really shitty that I try not to do, I don't even notice that I have to go to the bathroom. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to pee. And then I get right back into what I'm doing. And an hour later, I feel like I'm about to pee myself. That is crazy. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And hey, maybe you're better at taking a break to go pee, but apparently I'm not. So this cues the most important word on the card, break. BREAK. And, I guess you could spell it BRAKE, break, pump them brakes, but I'm talking about taking a break, a pause in what you're doing right now. And I want to get really clear here that my understanding of this card doesn't mean it's time to create an unmanageable routine that will lead to disappointment. I've talked about this a lot on Dharma Drops, both on the podcast and in my blogs, that our routines that serve us, that help us feel better in our lives, they should be adding to our lives, not pulling away from them. And so that's really important in my understanding of this card, that taking a feel-good break doesn't mean that it's supposed to eat up your entire day and make it difficult for you to finish up the rest of the things that you need to do. Instead, this card reminds us that we need to ask ourselves right now, do I feel good? Do I need a break? You should ask yourself that right now. Say it. Say out loud to yourself or internally if you are around people, and you would seem weird if you're like, do I feel good? And talking to yourself. But ask yourself, do I feel good? Do I need a break? If the answer is no, I don't feel good, yes, I do need a break, then do it. And look, I don't know your personal situation, but my guess is most of us could probably feel better and most of us could use a break. For me, this tends to be a little bit of a delicate balance. There are acts and rituals that if I have the time and space to do them, they really do make me feel better. I do feel my best if I wake up early, practice yoga, meditate, practice pranayama, journal, and eat a healthy breakfast. In fact, for a while, some of the times that I felt the best, I was getting up at the ass crack of dawn. For a while, I was taking boot camp classes, and then I was going to Ashtanga for a while. But I found that those things just could not sustain. I did feel good getting up at 4:45 and being finished with my yoga practice, I don't know, by like 6 a.m. or so. That felt good. I felt really accomplished, like I started something in my day. But I just could not keep up with that. And the truth is, it's not realistic for my life right now. And here's the big kicker of this entire thing. That is okay. It might be a little bit of my own projection or maybe even some of my own insecurities, but from time to time, I have felt a little passive aggressive pressure from yoga and wellness communities to carve out hours each day, to practice yoga, to cultivate clarity, to journal, to do all those things. And look, I'm not saying any of this is bad. And I see people on Instagram who wake up and they spend their first 3 hours journaling and reading and drinking lemon water and all this stuff. That's awesome, but it's not for me right now. And as I mentioned in this card reading, I think this might be my favorite quote, but business is like a screaming baby. If I don't tend to it, this business will shit itself. It just will. So if I get up and spend 3 hours, practicing yoga and doing all these things, there's no one else to run this business. And I think a lot of us feel that sort of pressure, whether it's business, family, whatever it may be. So 3 hours of mindfulness work each day is not going to happen. And I refuse to feel guilty about that. None of us should feel guilty for living up to our responsibilities. We should never feel guilty for meeting our goals, and we should never feel guilty for reaching our dreams. But that doesn't mean you can't feel good. That doesn't mean you can't take a break. Life has seasons. Sometimes it's a little easier to make space for feeling good than others. And I get it. Life is full of choices and we can always choose to make more space, but that is often easier said than done. So rather than beating yourself up for not making space, this card reminds us to do the best we can to feel good now. Take a break right now and take a deep breath. Put your phone down now, after you're done listening to this, and read a page from your favorite book. Take 3 minutes to watch ballerinas falling on YouTube. Do a handstand, touch your toes. I don't give a shit what it is. Just give yourself a moment or two to feel good. And then you head right back into your life feeling a little bit better than you did before. Just imagine what would change if you did that every single day. So that's the card reading for this week. But one thing I want to add to this is that I mentioned, imagine what would change if you did that every single day. So your work, if I may assign you homework, is to do this every single day between now and the next Dharma Drops episode. But don't just do it. I want you to track it. So some of you may know that I do this self-mentoring process, a little bit of coaching with clients. And in that self-mentoring process, one of the things that we often talk about is tracking your efforts. So on your calendars, your planners, your notebooks, whatever you use to keep track of your life. For me, sometimes it's the back of a receipt or an empty envelope, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever you use to keep track of your life, check off every single day that you actually take 1, 2, or 3 minutes to take that feel-good break. Then, on those same days, a few times a day, give yourself the chance to rate how you actually feel. So one way to do this is you might rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 before your break. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1, I feel like shit, 5, I feel fan-freaking-tastic. So rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 before your break, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 after your break, and then at the end of the day, rate yourself again. And so this isn't a time to judge, to say like, oh God, my numbers are low, I never feel good. This is a time to gain clarity, to see, are you feeling good more than you think you are? Or are you really feeling better more often if you're taking these breaks? So track this stuff and see what you discover if you take these feel-good breaks and give yourself a little bit of data to see how you're actually feeling. Just a little bit of advice, just a little bit of homework. As always, everything on Dharma Drops podcasts are musings, not truths. So don't go running around saying, oh, Rebecca Warfield said this is truth. Just an experiment. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so this card is from the Feed the Soul card deck. There are more card decks coming to the Dharma Drops shop soon. In the shop, there's also a self-care planner that actually might help you keep track of these feel-good breaks. So you can head over to dharmadropspodcast.com, and if you go to the February 7th card reading, you can see that information there. But otherwise, this is your Dharma Mini Drops episode for February 12th, 2020. I'm going to see you next time. Don't forget to feel good, friends. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Dharma Drops. Just as a reminder, for as little as $2 a month, you can get exclusive podcasts, swag, merch, yoga classes, meditations, and more by becoming a supporter on Patreon. Just head over to patreon.com/Dharma Drops. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to Dharma Drops podcast on whatever app you're listening on. It's a great way to show your support, as well as a great way to share the podcast with others. And to see all of the Dharma Drops offerings, including the weekly card card readings, the shop, and more, just head over to dharmadropspodcast.com. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Bye.